Welcome to Local Matters. I'm Elizabeth Shanahan-Jewett. Let's get started. While the study of philosophy brings many of us back to the halcyon days of college classrooms, philosophy still has a huge impact on our daily lives. The big questions like how to be a good person are philosophical, and problem solving becomes easier when we apply the critical thinking philosophy teaches us to use. And it doesn't have to be boring. If you're interested in meeting with others to discuss the big questions, join the Plymouth Public Library on the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. The Plymouth Public Library Philosophy Group is a casual, no-judgment setting where you'll discuss and debate a different philosophical question each month. For more information, visit the library's website. The next meeting takes place on February 2nd. Next up is In Our Schools with Mark McKinley.
The winter sports season is in full swing, and the Pembroke and Silver Lake teams are back at it. PACTV is covering the Pembroke girls and boys varsity basketball home games from the high school gym, and those can be seen on the Pembroke Education Channel Comcast 14. The Laker home games can be seen live on the Laker TV YouTube channel, and replays are on the Kingston Education Channel Comcast 14 and Verizon 41. Along with sports, the visual and performing arts departments are back with in-person performances. The winter concert season is wrapping up, and PACTV was there to cover it. Concert replays for each district can be seen on the Kingston and Pembroke Education channels. You can find the playtimes by visiting pactv.org and clicking on the Watch tab for channel schedules. Along with games and concerts, recent school committee meetings are also on the education channels, keeping families and residents informed about what's happening in their school district. That's what's happening in our schools. Be sure to follow us on social media to keep up to date with the latest happenings, and check out the Titan TV and Laker TV YouTube pages for new content from our schools. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mark. The ability to set both physical and emotional boundaries is an important part of feeling safe and empowered. Impact Boston is offering an online assertiveness and boundary setting class, which will equip participants with tools for effective negotiation and communication with friends and family, your partner, co-workers, and strangers. Using realistic scenarios, you'll learn skills to help you stay calm and focused in stressful situations in a safe, virtual space that is open to all. The class takes place on February 5th and 6th from 12 to 4 p.m. and scholarships are available to those who qualify. To register, visit impactboston.org. During a blinding winter storm in 1620, the Mayflower's first set of explorers landed on Clark's Island, which is named for first mate John Clark. But there's actually a lot that took place on that land before European settlers stepped foot there. On January 27th, from 7 to 8 p.m., join the Duxbury Free Library and resident archaeology expert Sheila Lynch Bentinen for a lecture on the archaeological record of this small island located in Duxbury Bay. Register for this virtual program through the Duxbury Free Library's website. On January 30th at 2 p.m., head to the Merry Room at the Duxbury Free Library to hear Representative Josh Cutler discuss and sign his book, The Boston Gentlemen's Mob, Maria Chapman and the Abolition of 1835. Recounting Chapman's courageous stand against the Boston Gentlemen's Mob, an anti-abolitionist riot, books will be on sale after the talk, with proceeds benefiting the Friends of the Duxbury Free Library and the Friends of the Senior Center. This event is hosted by the Duxbury Rural and Historical Society, the Duxbury Senior Center, and the Duxbury Free Library. To register, visit the Duxbury Free Library website. Quincy College is an open access institution with a campus right here in Plymouth, and you've heard a lot from us about the exciting new programs the college has to offer. To get more in-depth about what's new and next for the school, Julie Thompson spoke to Quincy College President Richard DeCristofaro.
I'm so pleased to be joined again by Rick DeCristofaro, who's the president of Quincy College here in Plymouth and also in Quincy. Rick, we had you on back in September, and you were talking to us about possibly working on this bachelor's degree that you had not offered before in business, and now you are actually offering it. So can you talk all about that?
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be talking with you again. We we have been very, very successful in gaining the baccalaureate pathway here at Quincy College in business management. And so it's, what we're looking at is both, our Plymouth and our Quincy students, as they approach their associate's degree in business, we're hoping that they just continue that pathway here and stay with very similar professors, similar classrooms, everything's similar. The rigor is a bit more, but I think that the great thing about this is that, for Plymouth students and for Quincy students, is that there's a nice pathway for them. Whether they start first year and know they're going to stay for 4, or right now, if there are many students graduated in December, with an associate's degree right here, and they can just kind of seamlessly go right into it and go into it in a very affordable way, which I think is the most important thing as you think about repaying college debt. These students, all have scholarships up to $5,000 that we have for them. So that's another incentive to stay here because it's so much less than going to a four-year school. So the baccalaureate does everything for us, for our students, but it also helps us when we talk about being a community college and being a private college. The reality is that now what we can do is with community colleges, there are 15 of them like Bridgewater. That's a Ford, I'm so sorry. Yeah, like Massasoit, for example, Cape Cod. What we can do is we can ask them, when your students get to an associate's degree level, when they're ready to graduate, we need to transition them here where they can save so much more money than going to a 4-year college, whether it's even UMass Boston, or go to Bridgewater or go to Northeastern. They can save money, and also our classes will be much less class size. They'll get incredible amount of attention. So when we look at that difference between community college and a private college, where we can really do so much more for each and every student that comes here. So that's the business management.
Okay, that's wonderful, because obviously the affordability of college is a big, it's a determining factor whether or not a lot of people actually go to college. So that's a wonderful thing. Now, for this program and for any of your programs, are they online or in person or both?
It could be either one. You can do it fully online. We'd love to be here in person, but we can do it fully online, and therefore we can do it for, obviously South Shore, Greater Boston, but we can also do it throughout the state. And we also have a license that we can do it throughout the United States as well. So we have that ability to, it's I think that's why it's such a game changer for Plymouth area, as well as the South Shore area in Greater Boston.
Sure. Now, so this 4-year degree, the bachelor's degree that you can now get in business, are you going to try to expand that to other areas to get a bachelor's degree in other things other than business?
Yeah, we're looking at in September to have a computer science baccalaureate beginning in September. So that's another thing to look forward to. After you get through the first one and you understand the bureaucracy, you understand the timelines, that others have for you. You understand that the pathway becomes a little bit more clear, not less bureaucratic, but clear. As to what we have to do and how much time is needed for each and every step.
Right. Now you still offer, last time we talked about certificate programs versus degrees, whether it's a 2-year degree or in this case a 4-year degree. Nothing has changed as far as that goes, right? You still have a very vast certificate program that people can select from also?
Yeah, and in Plymouth in particular, the pharmacology, the pharmacy program, that we got, that's up and running, and I think there's 10 or 12 students that are in that in Plymouth. So there'll be I think it's either a 10-week or a 16-week program, but they're down there and they're doing great. We also have the paramedic education down there, EMT down there, and then all of the other courses as well. Those are certificate programs.
Sure. And that works for a lot of people. That is a wonderful alternative to a 2 or 4 year actual traditional college because it's more targeted and specific for a job function. Let's talk a little bit about this. You're going to launch a ESOL program, which is English Speakers of Other Languages. A lot of people aren't familiar with that at all. Can you talk about what that program is and what it means to our community?
Yeah, so we look at Plymouth, we look at Quincy too, and know there's a lot of constituents out there that really don't speak English the way they would really love to speak English.
Yep.
And to enter the workforce and to have that ability to speak and read and write as much as possible in English is critical to their economic opportunity. So what we look at is taking a look, I think, in the Plymouth area, there's a Portuguese population. There's probably 2 or 3 others that are prominent that we are currently reaching out to. And this is free. This is a grant from the Department of Education that's free for them to come in for a multi-week program with instructors that are very, very capable. They understand cultures, a lot of different cultures. And so we're looking really forward to that because I think that's the type of, with our mission, this is the type of situation that we can bring students like that in that have limited English and then try to bring them to either the certificate level or actually begin a degree program. So it's that kind of that idea of upward mobility of immigrants coming in and understanding that what they need in order to really enculturate into the workforce. Critical.
And this segues very much into what we talked about last time, where you said Quincy College was a little bit different. You set yourself apart because of your real concentration on the individual student. Where are they? What do they need? What are their paths? This plays right into that clearly.
Yeah, it really does, and it's what I try to say here as much as possible. It's kind of like surround care. No matter where they go in this college, no matter who you are, whether you speak beautiful English or limited English, it doesn't really matter. What matters is who you are. Not everything you bring, but what you leave with. And what we try to tell these students is that there's always someone to talk to. It sounded like the Cheers, but I didn't mean it that way. But it really is. It's a college that cares, and it's small enough to do that. Other colleges, I'm sure, try very hard, but there's just too many students, So our enrollment isn't as great as we'd like. We'd love to get more enrollment.
Sure.
But right now, anyone that comes here, our students get really a lot of attention, whether it's from advising or from our faculty. People are always willing to help and listen and support.
Which is wonderful. Now, my last question is about, does your traditional year run from, September to May and then the summers are off, or do you have a vibrant summer program?
Vibrant summer program. The difference in, when I was superintendent of the schools for a million years, the difference here is that it doesn't ever stop.
Okay.
And that's a real positive thing in regard to revenue and enrollment and offering great things for students. The opposite is you don't have time to stop and put a big sign up and say, pardon the renovations that we're going through. We don't have time to do that. So any changes you want to make within this type of college structure, you're making on the fly.
Right.
So it's a little more difficult that way. But there's no typical. It's not like you leave in June,
right,
and come back and say.
So it's a year round learning, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Well, again, this has been wonderful. What you do at Quincy College is kind of what we at PACTV always promote. It's to lift people up. And
yes.
It's wonderful to hear this. And congratulations on getting this 4-year program. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
And quite
I'd
unique.
love to come back and talk more anytime that you're available. It's
Okay,
pleasure.
super. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we'll have you back again.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye, Rick.
Thank you, Julie and President DeCristofaro. To learn more about Quincy College, visit quincycollege.edu. Dyslexia is the most common learning disability in the United States, impacting about 1 in 5 children and affects a person's ability to read, spell, and write. On January 29th, the Plymouth Public Library will hold a presentation breaking down some common myths about dyslexia, what the signs are at different ages of development, effective interventions, resources, and recommendations. You will leave with a better understanding of this disability and the best ways to show support to the person in your life who has it. This program will take place at the Phalo Meeting Room from 2 to 3 p.m. Visit the Plymouth Public Library to register. Next up, we have Keith Hughes with an all-new Snapshot.
Welcome to Snapshot, where we take a local look at the government programs, initiatives, and stories that you may have missed. Residents of Massachusetts who were vaccinated in the state will now be able to access their vaccination records and card online. This includes a scannable QR code that can be printed out or saved to your phone files, camera roll, or Apple Wallet to show proof of vaccination when required. Just visit myvaxrecords.mass.gov and follow the instructions to receive your Smart Health Card QR code. If you've been on the Plymouth waterfront recently, you've probably noticed the barges around Town Wharf. We recently caught up with David Gould, Director of Marine and Environmental Affairs for the Town of Plymouth, to learn more about the dredging project.
Hi, I'm David Gould, Director of Marine and Environmental Affairs for the Town of Plymouth. And we're out at the Plymouth waterfront this morning, and behind me to my left you can see the bulkhead project that we're currently working on, which ironically enough most people don't realize they actually park on. It's located between Wood Seafood and Lobster Hut, and it also is the location for the boardwalk that goes around the harbor. We're replacing all of those piles, doing some bulkhead work. We're encasing an old wooden bulkhead in concrete, and then putting in all new cross bracing and pile caps, replacing the parking so it's now safe again, and putting in extended boardwalk as well as some new lighting to light up that area in the evening and at night for pedestrians who are walking through the harbor front. This project should be done by springtime. It's about a $1.33 million project. $1 million from the Massachusetts Seaport Economic Council to the town via a grant, and $331,000 as the matching funds from the Town of Plymouth. And again, should be working on it throughout the winter and be done and wrapping up in the springtime so it's ready to go for summer.
The Duxbury Police Department recently received a grant of $55,755 from the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security to further their body-worn camera program. The grant application process required each municipal department to submit a comprehensive plan that described the deliberate phased steps to deploy the technology, as well as specific ways the proposed program will enhance the agency's mission. This round of funding from the state is the first in a 5-year, $20 million capital grant program, which is expected to deploy 9,000 body-worn cameras across Massachusetts' cities and towns. Thanks for watching this edition of Snapshot. I'm Keith Hughes, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Keith. Traveling has been on the back burner for many of us over these last 2 years, but for Peter Mandel, traveling is his life and his job. Peter is a travel journalist who hunts for stories and photos in the world's most far-off and extreme places. On February 3rd, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., the Kingston Public Library presents Going to Extremes at the Adams Center, where Peter will share stories of his amazing adventures, from fishing for piranha in Brazil to surviving a military coup in Ecuador. Peter will also explain his process of travel writing and how his adventures turn into articles for some of the world's most popular publications. For more information, visit the Kingston Public Library's website. There's more to a library than books, computers, and copy machines. The Pembroke Public Library's Library of Things, for example, is a vast collection of non-traditional items like birdwatching kits, games and puzzles, and even a cornhole set and a bubble machine. Library patrons over 18 can borrow a thing, anything, as long as you agree to abide by lending guidelines. Based on community interest and suggestions, the library is always adding more things. Visit the Pembroke Public Library website to check out this unconventional, educational, and fun collection. Museums and historic sites have become more inclusive over the years when it comes to queer history, but there are still challenges to navigate. On January 26th at 7 p.m., join public historian Ken Torino and the Duxbury Rural and Historical Society for the virtual presentation Entering the Mainstream, Interpreting LGBTQ History. Ken will discuss the ways museums and historic sites are striving to be more inclusive and creative in the ways they tell LGBTQ stories. To encourage accessibility, the Duxbury Rural and Historical Society has made tickets to this event free, although donations are welcome and appreciated. Visit their website to learn more and register. And visit the local scene on social media or our website at pactv.org/thelocalscene for more of what's good and good to know in our area. That wraps this episode of Local Matters. From all of us at PACTV, have a safe and happy week. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to The Local Scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.